Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the troublesome reign of King John, and we get to hear from Lewis today to finish off Act 2, Scene 3. So this scene, Lewis has arrived in England, and he went to where all of the nobles had met up, the English nobles had met up, so they could figure out how to overthrow John or oust John or do something to John. And when Lewis entered, he was like, it was so easy for me to get here. All of these towns that I went through, they all just bowed down, they laid down their arms, they welcomed me, like this was so easy, let's go do this thing. But he does ask of the nobles that they say their oath to him. He's like, it's not that I don't trust you, I really want to hear you say the words. So the English nobles all swear fealty to him, and he's like, okay, great, now we can go do this thing. And the English nobles are like, all right, well, we'll meet up with you in a few minutes, like we'll leave you to getting settled, whatever. So they all leave, and as soon as they're gone, Lewis turns to his French lords, including Malone, and he's like, these guys are a bunch of traitors, right? Because they're going against their king, King John. So what's to prevent them from doing that to me once I'm king? So we can't trust any of them, right? Like they're once a traitor, always a traitor. And the French nobles are like, yeah, absolutely. And once you're king and you don't need them anymore, we can just get rid of all of them. And Malone is like, yes, once you're on the throne, you will never have to deal with a traitor again, I promise. And Lewis says, that so I mean, I swear before you all on this same altar, and by heaven's power, there's not an English traitor of them all, John once dispatched, and I, fair England's king, shall on his shoulders bear his head one day, but I will crop it for their guilt's desert. Nor shall their heirs enjoy their signories, but perish by their parents' foul amiss. This have I sworn, and this will I perform. If ere I come unto the height I hope, lay down your hands and swear the same with me. And the French nobles swear. Why, so now call them in and speak them fair. So somebody leaves to go get the English lords. A smile of France will feed an English fool. Bear them in hands as friends, for so they be, but in heart like traitors as they are. And then the English lords come back in. Now, famous followers, chieftains of the world, have we solicited with hearty prayer the heaven in favor of our high attempt. Leave we this place, and march we with our power to rouse the tyrant from his chiefest hold. And when our labors have a prosperous end, each man shall reap the fruit of his desert. And so resolved, brave followers, let us hence. And then the scene's over. So this is Lewis solidifying all of the plans for even after he has overthrown John. He's like, yeah, all of them that are here ready to fight with me are traitors. So once John is gone and I'm the king, they are all going to be like, literally, they're going to be decapitated. And not only that, I'm going to kill all of their kids too, because I don't want even like traitorous bloodlines as part of my kingdom. And he's like, I swear all of this, so let's all swear together. Us Frenchmen, let's all swear together. So they all do. And he sends one of his French guys to go and call the English guys back in. And he says to the French nobles that are still there, he's like, treat them all as friends, because right now they are your friends. But just remember, in their hearts, they're traitors. So don't forget about that. And the English lords come back in, and he does sort of a rousing, now we're all friends and everything is great and heaven is on our side, and let's go and get John. Let's rouse this tyrant out of his seat and overthrow him, and then we will all get what's coming to us once that is done. Hooray! And the scene ends. So he goes from conspiring against them to revving them up to go and oust John. And that's the end of that scene. Now, in Shakespeare's version of this play, this is like the first third of Act 5, Scene 2. So there's a lot more detail that goes into this here. In Shakespeare's version, we're just sort of with the nobles and Lewis is already there, and Salisbury gives a speech about how sad it is that he has to be fighting against his own country to make things happen. And then the next scene, Shakespeare's scene continues, but the next scene of this version kind of starts about halfway through. So just interesting what the different authors decided they needed to focus on in the different plays. So yeah, come on back tomorrow for more and we'll see. We're getting towards the end, so we're going to see fairly soon how all this is going to wrap up. I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.